It's been 2 years, and it might be time to watch this one all over again in the context of Diablo Immortal. It's 2 years ago, probably everybody who watched that the first time is banned in my chat now, so we should watch it again. I haven't seen this video in over 2 years. It's been almost 3 years. A lot has changed. So Blizzard actually watched my react whenever I did this like 3 years ago, and they were like, hey, write that down. Write that down, Shirley. Get that down. Put an underline under that. Write super whales and put it in bold. Put super whales in bold. We've got to get a lot of those super whales. Figure this out. Here we go. Let's watch it. Yay. Yay. Hey, guys. Let's go whaling.
I'm here to talk about monetization. It's Let's Go Whaling. It is about a summary of a huge bunch of behavioral psychology. So the tricks on how to monetize a game well. Some of you will probably be slightly shocked by all the tricks I have listed here, but I'll leave the morality of it out of the talk. We can discuss it if we have time later.
I have a feeling that they're not going to have time. Yeah, I have a feeling that, you know what? We actually don't have time for that. Sorry.
So, let's dive right in.
And look at the guy in the back.
If we have time
Listen.
later. So,
that was Bobby.
Let's dive right in. First off...
Bro, I love how they literally have a Wall Street bettor and a Wall Street fucking executive and a literal oil prince. Like, they're not even... Like, it's just like, yeah, that's what it is.
Wall Street trader and an oil sheikh got into a fight. Who won? You guys did. This is to remind you that a lot of the
joke, but it's not.
Comes from the high-paying guys, the whales. And the very best way to get these guys to spend is to get two rich, competitive guys to fight each other and tell them, I'll give you a slight upside if you pay me.
Well, that's obviously true. They even made a whole movie or a show about it. It's called Whale Wars. Yeah, that's what it is. Is this video real? So I want to make sure everybody understands this. This is not satire. This is not, oh, this guy's just going up there to have a little bit of a laugh. This is legitimate. This is the real deal. This is a real one.
Next off, to remind you that the best way to make sure of both your retention and your monetization is to make sure you have enough of an in-game economy in there.
Yeah, so you want to make it so they can at least, like, I mean, if people can't even spend $1,000 on your game, why are you even making it?
1,000 up there is actually clearly lowballing it. Top grossing games have in-game economies worth tens of thousands. That's how you can keep people in there. They have lots of things to do, stuff to operate, to progress along, and that's how you can make them spend a lot as well. Since you can, for instance, give a huge discount on something. You know, this stuff is worth 150 euros, but now I'll give it to you for 5.
You could say it's like an 800% value, or like a 570% value. And like you put it there, right? And so, like, again, they aren't even trying to hide it now. Well, why? The thing is, like, think about it like this. People that do gambling streams on Twitch can literally say, don't gamble. It's rigged. And people will be like, yeah, but I'm a lucky boy, so I'm going to take my shot. And that's what they do. So it literally doesn't matter if you tell people that they're getting scammed, because they're so narcissistic and stupid, they'll just let it happen.
Your whole in-game economy is worth less than 150. You cannot do that, of course. So now a few of these like frameworks on how to think of stuff.
Get it twisted. There it is.
I've seen suggestions to model what you sell according to Bartle types. I assume you're all familiar with Bartle types. The achievers want to progress in the game, the socializers want to speak to other people, the killers just want to compete and kill each other, and the explorers are the guys who are after stories and experiences. So this is from Will Luton's suggestion to you sell convenience to the achievers, which really means faster progress. Customization to socializers, hats and stuff. Competitive advantage, that is pay to win for the killers.
And I like how he just says it. That is pay to win for the killers. That's right. That's so you sell them pay to win. Very simple.
Content for explorers. Obviously. Now, the reason I highlighted convenience up there or progress is that most of your sales will be here. Customization, hats and stuff, there.
Give me 1 second, guys. God fucking damn it. All right, we're good. Sorry about that.
Nice, but you'll have a single-digit percentage of your income coming from that, if you do both that and progress. Competitive advantage is good, but you can go overboard with it and have an unbalanced game. Which is, if it's too clearly pay to win, people will stop playing. And
this is an outdated video. So that was true, but now it's not anymore. And so, like, yeah, this was like 2, 3, 4 years ago or whatever. Now, whenever it's pay to win, people are proud of paying to win, and they put it in your face. They're like, I've got a lot of money and you don't, just like in real life. That's why I have better gear, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you in this video game. That's what it is. It's from 2016, 6 years ago.
Content, it takes a lot of resources and time to do that. Selling content is very expensive. Hardly any team can keep up producing content in the at the pace needed. This one I like a bit better. Hook Habit Hobby. This is a model from Dimitri Dravanov.
More like hook, line, and sinker. Holy shit! Look at this. The icebreaker. Wait, that's literally what they do. What, the hook is like the 800 value. The habit is you get it throughout every single dungeon. And then the hobby... Oh my god! It's right there! It's the drug model. Yeah, it is.
Flare games. It's a model for how people progress in a game. The hook is what gets you into the game to try out a free-to-play game. Then you build it into a habit that you play multiple sessions every day. And then at the end, it's the hobby phase where people see it as one of their main hobbies, and they put lots of time and resources into it.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at this from a monetization perspective, the hook is where you put up an icebreaker. You want to give a really, really good deal, something that's a no-brainer. You would be crazy to turn it down as a player.
I mean, imagine, like, for example, there's like a fucking, you clear like the first dungeon, and they give you something, and it just straight up says, yo, like, this is an 800, like, I'm just throwing out a random number. Like, I don't know why. I guess we're all thinking of the same number. Well, what is it about 8s today? I don't know. But it's like an 800% value. Damn, that's a lot.
The reason to give a really good deal up front is by making people spend up front, they are also emotionally committing to your game. Their retention will go up. And the first spend is...
And it's the emotional commitment. You have to listen to what he said again.
Front is by making people spend up front, they are also emotionally committing to your game.
So you want to get people in their feels. You want to get inside of them, and you want to be able to make them feel a certain kind of way, because that's what's manipulating them. That's the most powerful way. Is like emotions subvert logic, and so if you can get somebody into an emotional state, then they'll be more willing to do something that's illogical. I think that Trainwrecks used to have a saying about that. JOBD.
Their retention will go up. And the first spend is, it breaks the ice, then they think of themselves as spenders in the game. It's okay for me to spend in the game. Lots of people are otherwise have this wall up. I will never pay for a mobile game. So you need to break the wall first.
Exactly, yeah.
The habit is like the main meat of the game.
Right.
This is where you sell the faster progress, as we just discussed.
Yes.
And the hobby is for the guys who have already maxed out. They're the guys who have all of their Clash of Clans building at the max level.
Eternal,
they are
legendary.
already there. So you can no longer sell progress to them. You have to sell consumables.
Yes.
This is where you're selling the faster healing times or faster build times of armies. This is also where you get basically unlimited upper spend. There's no limit to how much you can spend in, for instance, Clash of Clans. So let's go down into some of these more tricks. Gachas. Who hasn't heard of gachas? Excellent.
Excellent. Of
most
course.
Of you have. So gachas, they're named after gachapon, these Japanese machines, which are sort of slot machines that give you collectible stuff.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know that whenever I was like, I guess we had these whenever we were kids, but like, I never really thought anything of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we had these at like Gotti Town and, you know, like Chuck E. Cheese, I think, had some of these. You know, like CC's Pizza. You would go there. They were always there. Like, sometimes I would get them, but I don't know. I feel like the gambling stuff, like, it just never really appealed to me. Because I knew it was going to, you get the kids. Here's the thing, right? Is you get the kids addicted to gambling whenever they're like under 10 years old, right? So like, you know, 8, 9 years old, it's like they're cranking it in there, putting their 50 cents in there, begging their mom. And then by the time that they turn 18, then they can take out a loan and then they go into debt for life. And then you take all the money at a casino, right? So it's just, you have to, you build up to it, right?
You get collectible stuff. But it's really the same mechanic that we have had in Western markets for collectible playing cards like
it's a transfer
Magic
of wealth.
the Gathering
Yes,
for
exactly.
ages. You cannot, no matter how much you spend, you cannot directly get the card you want. You have to over and over again pay to get a bunch of random cards and hope that the thing you wanted is in there.
I think that's also one of the big differences between like a card pack and things in video games is you can just buy the card. For example, like besides it's physical, like you can just straight up buy. I remember I was always trying to get like a Birds of Paradise or Lightning Helix or Tolarian Academy or I'm trying to Jace or something like that. Like any of these like expensive cards, like you can literally buy these cards. But in a lot of these games, you literally can't do that. You have to just keep rolling the dice over and over and over.
Or then you like trade them somehow if there's what wasn't what you hoped for. These are great for again both monetization and retention because people like the lottery part of it. If you won't look up Skinner box to know why.
What was that?
If you want look up Skinner box to know why.
Oh, a Skinner box. It's called a variable reinforcement schedule. That means that whenever you open something up, you continue doing it, but the reward is not always guaranteed, but it sometimes occurs. That's basically it. And my dad used to literally fucking, he used to be a college professor, and he knows about this stuff. Like, he actually talked to B.F. Skinner before. Like, he knows a lot about this shit. Like, I could probably get him over and explain things, and he would probably tell me what Blizzard's doing wrong. He'd be like, oh, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that?
It's really a lot more exciting, and you get more content because people cannot immediately progress to the stuff they want. They have to keep trying a few times. So it really takes like 5 times as long to get the collection that they need compared to just progressing and collecting soft currency and buying it straight off. Okay, then think about how you want to get to your millions. Do you go the king route of having a huge
King, by the way, is owned by Blizzard. Or it's King, Activision, Blizzard. All 3 of these companies.
volume of players and a fairly modest lifetime value for each spender? Or do you go the machine zone route of having a very hardcore game that like 95% of the population is going to look like, what is that? But the 5% that actually do play it, they will spend a lot.
Oh, I get it.
Just know where you stand on this.
Yeah.
Hot state. There's an excellent book about behavioral psychology called Thinking Fast and Slow. Is
this trying to pressure somebody into an immediate decision?
The fast thinking. I'm telling you that the fast thinking mode is what you want. The slow thinking is your analytical brain. What's 12 times 47? I'm sure all of you can answer that, but you have to start your actual thinking brain to do that. Now, if I say, complete the sentence, bread and everyone thought butter.
Yes.
So that's the fast thinking. Our brain works in these two modes, and starting the analytical part of your brain is too much to ask for a spend. How it applies to games is make stuff immediately useful, immediate gratification. If you have a level-based game and you sell some boosters up front, for instance, a coin doubler or some other stuff that will help you.
Like a Mad King's treasure trove?
People will have to analyze and think it through. These things are good for me. These will help me progress before they do it. And they won't do that. If, on the other hand, you do like, for instance, in this temple run, once your game is over, save me, I have a few seconds to spend hard currency and I get to continue.
So that's literally what they did. Because what they do is as soon as you finish the dungeon, it pops up and it's like, hey, limited time offer. It's only going to be here right now. You just finished the dungeon. You want to get some more stuff? You better buy it right this second. It's a 400% bonus and you'd be an idiot not to buy it right now. And it's, again, like, it's FOMO. It's also like creating a sense of urgency whenever you make sales. So like oftentimes like car salesmen will do this and be like, they'll say something like, well, you know, I've got to, you know, you can take it now. You know, I've got a couple that's going to come in tomorrow morning and they're going to buy it. So if you're not looking to buy it right now, it's going to be gone tomorrow. And this is a very, very common sales technique. And it works very well. That's why that happens. You know the four winds carry? No, I do this. I do it all the time. Like, listen, I would do this constantly whenever I would try to sell things to people. Yeah, that's how it works. Like, because the thing is, these would not be techniques if they didn't work. Yeah, creating false scarcity. Exactly.
Or similar in Candy Crush Saga, at the very moment that
limited FIFA packs. Oh, there's only so many of this digital thing that we can reproduce infinitely. Yeah, there's only 2,000 of this special digital card. No, we can't make any more of them. We ran out of W's. We can't use W's in the code anymore, so we can't make any more of them. We hit our W limit.
I can see, I just spend a bit more. I can pass it. Make it immediately useful. Loss aversion. This is... people are much more attached to the stuff they have than an equal amount of things that they can gain. Which means that if I give you an offer, I'll flip a coin. If it's tails, I'll take 100 euros from you. If it's heads, I'll give you 120 euros. Who would take the bet?
I would.
No one. No. We need more gain to offset the loss is felt more strongly.
Yeah, I would.
We
Obviously,
need like 200 against 100 loss. 200 gain against 100 loss. Then we'll take the deal.
Why would you not take that deal? You stand to win. It's in your favor. Like it's in your favor. It's a 50-50 chance.
In games, you can apply this by giving people stuff that feels is in their pocket, and then threaten to take it away unless they pay up. This is, lots of level-based games do this. There are collectibles in things like Puzzle and Dragons. You collect along the way. If you didn't finish the level, they'll take it from you. Now, pay.
Isn't that what they do with rifts? Because if you don't finish the rift, don't you lose all of your stones? And also your login rewards? The boon of plenty? Oh, you get it back? Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh my god. No, they refund it. I'm actually surprised by that. You know what? Blizzard isn't that bad after all. They refund it.
To continue a bit.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Offers and scarcity
plays
into the loss aversion. If there are rare cards up here, and you see the goblin going with his clocks, tick-tock, I'll take it away from you, I'll take it away from you. They are scarce, they go away. This is a brilliant way to get more.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's you just want to give people that urgency and make them know, like, this is a one-time offer. If you don't take this, you're losing a ton of money. You might as well just take this. It's literally 99, guys. It's 99 cents.
People to spend more. Subscription. Does anyone recognize the guy? He's the builder from Clash of Clans.
Okay.
The point of this is the builder has a very specific way of working. If you spend your hard currency on this guy, you will only get the benefit from him if you then keep coming back to the game very often.
Right.
So it drives both retention and monetization.
So it's literally just like in Diablo Immortal, whenever you have to spend money to get your login rewards, but your login rewards make you have to log in, so the higher chance of you spending additional money. That's crazy. Wow. How about that?
Build stuff that makes people come back to your game a lot in order to get the value out of that.
Mm-hmm.
The IKEA effect. This is to say, stuff that we put work into, we value more highly.
Oh, so you build it yourself.
You know, IKEA really sells you cardboard stuff. It's shit. But you value it still somehow slightly higher because you actually built it yourselves.
Yeah.
The model over here is from a psychology book called Hooked, How to Build Hooking Products.
So they literally have an entire book on how to get people addicted to stuff. Oh my god. We gotta read that. That's great. Damn, I never knew it. Multiple books. Yeah, we gotta read that. Maybe learn a little bit more about this. It's called advertising. Yeah. Absolutely, guys. Be a whole person. Yeah, it's just crazy. How is this not illegal? In my opinion, here's what I think. I've said before is that I think that the problem really is that it's kind of like what this guy is saying, is that people get hooked into it and they get invested in it because they feel like they have some level of control over it, because like they got lucky whenever they opened up the box. So it's like partly like their own doing that they have this thing. But what I think that they should get rid of is the random loot boxes. The random loot boxes are what's bad. And I think that if you got rid of random loot boxes, 90% of this stuff would just immediately fall away. Because I think the random loot boxes are what enables it.
This is how we build habits. There's a trigger to remind us to do something.
Yes.
Then we go do an action.
That's the store.
We get the variable reward, just like the Gachas. We get the lottery ticket. And then, to really hook it down, we need to ask people to do something for us, do a little bit of work, because then they become emotionally attached to that. And then,
and that's the rift, right? So like they actually, the player has to do something, and that invests them in the outcome and makes them feel like they didn't just buy it. Isn't that cute?
We set up the next trigger, either internal or external. External trigger means really a notification in our case. Internal that people have in their minds that, you know, I started building that tower, or I planted pumpkins. That means I need to come back in 8 hours.
Not their fault people are stupid. No, you can make an argument that people that are stupid deserve to be taken advantage of, right? They're dumb. They make bad decisions for themselves, and because of their stupidity, they fuck themselves up. I think you easily can make that argument, and a lot of people feel that way. Absolutely. If they're stupid, they get taken advantage of, and that's life. It's the circle of life, and they're just lower on the food chain than other people are. Sure, you can say that, but it's like, is this really... Whenever you allow something like that, are you effectively enabling a society that just takes advantage of people? Is this good for society as a whole that you have something like this that exists? And I would argue, like with the gambling stuff, it's really not. It's really not okay that this happens. I think that it's clearly harmful to people. And it obviously is indicated to be harmful because that's why kids can't gamble. Because if it was fine, then kids would be able to gamble. But they can't. So yeah, obviously it's capitalism. I find that like this person is not like... So do you think that like these games are everywhere in the world basically? And there are places in the world that don't necessarily have capitalism. Guys, the problem is not capitalism, it's greed. If you get rid of capitalism, you're still going to have these things because people are still going to be greedy. People have been greedy forever. That's exploitism. Yeah, exactly. Capitalism is greed. Of course it's not the same thing, because if it was, then they would exist simultaneously. Like, that's just, it's so dumb. It's just like such a stupid way to say things. Like, so stupid.
That's the trigger, and then we go round and round, and we have the habit.
It's human nature, yeah, it happens everywhere.
Anchoring is
It's always
fun.
been like this.
Anchoring means that when we don't know the price of stuff, the first price we hear suggested for it becomes our anchor.
Right.
And then we compare everything to that.
Yes.
For instance, an iconic example, black pearls. Black pearls, when they first came on the market, no one wanted them because they're dull and black and don't look very nice. The guy who had them told his summer trainee or whatnot to just dump the price of them and get rid of them. The summer trainee understood it wrong and actually hiked the price by 50%.
Oh yeah, that's what you do, right? Is you put the price up high, and this is the way you go into a deal, right? It's like, how many people have heard the tips and everything like the dumpy dump? Yeah, guys, I don't really care about your opinions on like if capitalism is bad or not. I don't think capitalism is bad. I think any system is bad if you have bad people involved with it. I think that it's just a silly and naive thing to say that capitalism is fundamentally bad. It's just fucking dumb. We're all here because of capitalism. It's dumb. But also there are people that are greedy that are in every system. There are plenty of communist systems that have terrible problems and things like that, and they have the same types of inequality. I think that people have these weird fucking idealized versions of reality that just don't actually exist anywhere. So I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about your dumb opinion about how capitalism is bad. I don't agree with it. I think that this is it is a core human problem, which is why it's manifested itself for thousands of years. Like this same, effectively, people were doing a lot of these techniques before we even had money. People were bartering with rocks using these techniques. This is not new. Capitalism did not invent this. This has been happening ever since the dawn of time. It's naive to believe otherwise. It's never going to go away.
And then suddenly they became these objects of desire. Even more special, I think, is this. If I ask all of you to write down the last 2 digits of your social security number, and then I have an auction, like imagine this is a fancy bottle of wine, and you get to bid on auction here.
Sure.
The people like me, my last 2 digits in my social security number are 99.
Oh.
I'd bid a higher price on this than the guys who have like 10 or 05.
Yeah.
Just because I wrote down a high number on a paper will anchor my thinking on what goes next.
Right, yeah.
So how to use this in a game? Some games...
The more subjective the value of something is, the better it is and the easier it is to do this. Yeah, I think that's effectively what happens. And you shouldn't criticize something that's been around a long time. Okay. Man, people are just so dumb about this, huh? Yeah, people are just so dumb about this. I never said that. Why are people so stupid about this? Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? Yeah, the people fell for the practices. I know, it's brain rot. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Capitalism is a problem. Unregulated capitalism is. oh, too much water will drown you and not enough will make you die of dehydration. It's the same as anything. Anything, whenever you do too much of it, is bad. I think nobody would disagree with you there. Of course. They incorporate the idea into their personalities. I think so. Yeah, it's just stupid.
Immediately when you're in the tutorial, they suggest to you you should buy this good IAP for 50 euros or something like that.
In-app purchase,
I
IAP.
go like, oh, that's expensive, I'll never do that.
Yeah.
Of course, no. And I expect them to say no. Then again, I come back like a few sessions later and suggest they buy it for 15. And I'll say, that's a good value, because my anchor was at 50. Social proof. So this is, we are herd animals, we tend to do what all of the others do. You all sit quiet listening to me, because that's what all of the other guys do here.
That's right.
So
we're good boys.
Especially when people are similar to us. This means that you should have the socially accepted way of behaving in your game should be paying. You want to tell...
Exactly. You want people to feel like they're losers for not spending real money on the video game. That's the goal. You want people to feel like, wow, like this guy is a real loser. He's not spending money on the game. You know, and that person is looked down on. They're laughed at. They're not taken seriously. And that's what the goal is. They shame RMT2. Yeah, and that's what's happened over time, is that if you look at the people that are complaining about Diablо Immortal, especially on like Twitter and stuff like that, you see even more people that are complaining about microtransactions being fucking insulted by people that have money and being like, oh, you're just poor. You're mad because you're poor. That's what it is.
People, for instance, when a clan member of theirs spend IAP money, you want the whole clan to know. Because then...
No, that's why, is that they removed the spit, is because it was working. Why would they get rid of it if it wasn't working? There'd be no reason to. They got rid of it because it worked. It was a social pressure. That's the whole point.
That becomes the socially acceptable way of behaving. By absolutely do not want to tell them that the majority of people in your game never spend money. That's poison. Never tell them that.
No, of course not.
Availability.
Everybody buys the 800% value pack. I mean, like... guys, everybody buys the Collector's Eternal Immortal Diablo Collector's Edition Battle Pass. Everybody buys the Perspective Seekers Prodigies Boon of Plenty. Everybody buys these. I mean, come on. Like, I mean, it's not even really pay to win. It's just like, if you like the game, you might as well support the game, right? I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Everybody buys this.
Means that the stuff we hear a lot about is the stuff we judge as likely to happen.
Yeah.
This, for instance, can tie into gachas. If there are rare gachas, not every player will see them every session. That's like the definition of rare.
Yeah.
Which means that they will think that it's not likely to happen that they get one of those, which means that you should tell them about it, which means every time a clan member gets one of the rare things, you should broadcast it to all of the others. Like, your friend got this rare or legendary thing.
And that's why people make videos about it too. It's because the content is popular. It's like, if I get, like today, if I get a 5-star gem, I can almost guarantee you that the clip of that's going to get over 100,000 views, because everybody's going to want to see that. And then right after that happened, you're going to have a lot of people fucking, oh boy, pull that lever, let's go, it's going to be me next. They're going to be going as hard as they can. Yeah, it's like all of the popular gambling stream, all of the popular clips are the ones where they win a lot of money.
Then they will judge it more likely. The right amount of choice. This is a famous jam experiment. They put up a stall in a supermarket with 20 different jams. You know, have a taste here. Then you have a discount. Go buy some. And then they had a control group who had only 5 jams to taste. Now, for the one with 20, a lot of people stopped by and tasted the jams. But for the one with 6, a lot more people bought. Because they know that that's the best one. That's the one I want. If there are 20, there's too much choice. We just get anxious. We choose nothing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's actually better to provide people with less decisions because that makes it easier for them to make decisions. Because they don't have to think as much, there's not as much second-guessing themselves, they just do it immediately.
There's a bunch of data on this.
It's like, yeah, a good example of that, somebody mentioned it, is like how many people sit and they look for something to watch on Netflix longer than they watch the thing whenever they finally decide to watch it. They spend more time watching and looking through it, right? And it's like, if Netflix just came up with 3 movies, it's like, you can either watch Gone with the Wind, Avengers Infinity War, or fucking Sword Art Online. Well, all right, let's watch this one. That's about it.
Whales take longer time to convert. This is just another reminder for you to have content for a bloody long time. The core loop go through the store. Have an example, hill climb racing, because it's so fantastically minimal and nice. Ooh. You do your action, your in-game, your core game there, and you go straight into the meta game where you do the upgrades and then back there. So the loop always goes through the meta stage where your store, where you're spending
always
money.
Goes back to the store.
Labeling technique, I haven't seen this actually done.
Big money.
In a game, but it's interesting, it should work. If we tell people they are a certain way, if we compliment them on being nice, good citizens, they are more likely to behave as nice, good citizens. So you should actually tell your players that they are generous individuals who have a taste for good art and want to support their game developers by paying you and buying IAPs.
So you tell them they're good boys, and then you tell them they're good boys, and then they give you money. That's smart. Yeah, you tell, they're good little pay piggies. Exactly, man of culture. Yeah, I don't know if they do that or not in Diablo Immortal. I usually click through all the dialogue, so I didn't really pay attention to it. Holy shit. You should try this, yeah.
Related to that, also to telling people the reason to do something makes them much more
fucking just a random
likely
meme
to actually follow through
and do that.
Meme. Spend because reasons. The reasons don't even have to be that good in order for this to work. And last, here are remember, there are 4 ways of progressing in games in general. You can have a skill-based game, you can have a luck-based game, you can have a game where you just progress by grinding, or you can pay to progress.
It's best of all 4.
Make sure that your games aren't too skill-based. I made that mistake myself.
Oh, man. Oh, man. How is it that you just fucking say it outright? Look at that.
Progress by grinding, or you can pay to
Here we go again.
To progress. Make sure that your games aren't too skill-based. I made that mistake myself.
The reason why is because you don't want a whale to lose. The whales have to be able to eat the plankton. And if the plankton are too fast and they get away from the whale, then the whale's going to starve. So you have to let the whale eat the plankton, or it ruins the whole cycle of life.
Too skill-based game, you don't get people to pay you because there's no reason to. So make sure grinding and paying are legitimate versions of progressing in the game.
Of course they are. Absolutely.
Thank you. That's it. A few questions.
Yeah. Standing ovation. Standing there, yes!
Any questions, Tom?
Let's get that money!
No? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Let's get that money!
I'll give one more in case you didn't have questions.
An encore.
Reciprocity is a very, very strong mechanic. If I give something to you, if you give something to me, I feel obliged to give something to you. To trigger that, however, we need 3 different criteria. The gift needs to be unexpected, personal, and significant. It can't feel like something I gave to everyone, which makes this a real challenge to do as part of the game.
Okay.
But I think you can incentivize your players to trigger reciprocity between each other. But
wait, there's more.
For you guys. Thank you. Internal.
I can't wait to come back in 3 years and watch this video again. I'm already excited for it. I'm already excited for the next time that I watch this video in 3 years. Because it's like, by then, it's like, well, what do you mean you're not getting the 8,000% value basket for your bonus items in order for you to get your bonus roll on your fucking collector's edition of your battle pass loot from the paid dungeon run in World of Warcraft? You know, what do you mean? So you're not min-maxing, or you're not in the guild anymore? You're done. Yeah, can we interview this guy? I mean, I'd love to. I don't know if he'd be open for that. I feel like he wouldn't be. Let me link the video for you guys so you can watch it yourselves. And was this a lecture at last BlizzCon? I don't think it needed to be. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have this guy on. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Let's read a few of these posts here. Make sure your games aren't too skill-based. I'm witnessing the destruction of the video game industry. There you fucking go. I think it's inevitable unless a strong strike back. Yeah, I'm sure a strike back is really going to do it. You know what's going to be ethical whenever he starts saying, we could talk about the morality at the end if there's time. Yeah, guys, and remember, I don't know if you noticed this, but there wasn't any time at the end to talk about that. Yeah, they forgot about that part. Fascinating. The same way some find medieval torture techniques fascinating, awesome in concept, horrible, and morally outrageous in practice. I genuinely thought this talk was about spreading awareness about malefic practices in the game development until 10 minutes in, whenever I realized the guy is a manager and explains it in a manner so other people can exploit gamers as well. Yes, of course they're doing that. Why would they not exploit the stupid little whales?